Now let's fill out the General tab. The cycle field fills in automatically according to what the billing group is set to. In this case, 1M stands for 1 month cycle. Pio number is optional. If this customer has a Pio number, you can fill that number in this field. As this number changes, you'll have to come back in and edit this customer and change this number on the fly. Anything entered in the Pio field will print on customer statements and invoices. Speaking of which, make sure print invoice and print statement are checked if you want this customer to receive an invoice or statement when printing multiples. Under Type, choose either Balance Forward or Open Items. Customers set as Open Item accounts will allow you to apply payments to specific invoices for this customer. For now, let's leave this as Balance Forward. As for Auto Apply Credit, normally, if you're inputting a payment on an Open Item customer's account, you'll have the option to apply that payment to a specific invoice. If this option is checked, you will not have to do that. The system will just apply all payments from oldest invoice to the newest. But since we're not having an open in this case, we'll just leave that unchecked. Under Terms, enter in your payment terms for this customer as you'd like it to appear on forms. For example, net 30. For the next line, if you created a late charge, you can select it via pen/ink, and this account will be charged a late fee only if they're past due. This field will automatically have a late charge in it only if the late charge was assigned to a billing group. Also, make sure the Apply field is checked if you want this customer to get charged a late fee. Deposit is an optional visual aid, so if a customer gives you a deposit for any reason, you can enter that amount here. When you give the deposit back, you need to come back here and change that amount back to 0. Credit limit is also optional. This is where you can set the customer's credit limit, and the system will warn you when the customer reaches or passes that limit. The Unapplied field will automatically show the total amount of unapplied payments that an open item customer may have. If they do have an amount showing, then they either have a credit balance from an overpayment, which can't be applied to anything yet, or a payment has not yet been applied to an invoice. Start date is the date that they started service. If this is a new account and they start in the middle of a billing cycle, they will be prorated as long as the prorate accounts is checked in the billing group setup screen. If you're setting up a database with existing accounts, this date should be the very beginning date of the current billing cycle. Stop date is optional, but if you want to enter in a date when this account should stop service, enter in that date here. You can then enter in a resume date for when services should start up again. CONTEXP stands for Contract Expiration Date, so if this customer is under contract, enter in the expiration date of the contract here. Once you begin entering payments for your customers, Last Paid will fill in automatically with the date that this customer last paid. Billed Through will automatically fill in as well, but with the date that they were last billed through. Keep in mind if you're billing this customer individually, you'll want to set this date to the day before the current cycle begins. In the balance box to the far right, you can simply view the customer's current balance. Keep in mind this is not where you can enter in the beginning balances. Those will actually be entered in the Sales and Adjustments module. The recycle icon on the bottom of the screen is called the refresh button. There are times once in a while when current data may not be appearing on the screen. Try hitting the refresh button, and it will update the data with all your recent changes.